As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
There she is. Revachol West.
There's a note of pride in the lieutenant's voice.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations.
Look at the shimmer, look at the perforations.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows.
Tally up the different rows.
The first row has 18 dots.
What about the next one?
The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some.
Count them individually.
There are so many, it's hard to count. More than 150, at least. Maybe even 200.
What about the last
The
row?
last row has 3 perforations.
3, that's it.
That's it.
Hey, Kim, what do all these holes mean?
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM.
Oh.
They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
Son, here is where we score your life performance. You
Better hope it's good.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
Wait, 18 years
That's
of done
what it
this?
says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth?
Got drunk like a mega rock star. I walked the land telling whores and liars of the end to come. There are 9,855 days remaining. Probably some boring office jobs, same as everything else. I feel like I just went around apologizing all the time. Do you really think I have any? The end is coming.
I'm glad you joined us. Not a lot of money in doom crying. Let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases.
Oh, shit.
Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see, wow, more than 200.
Is that a lot?
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10
Holy
cases
shit.
a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
So you're saying I used to be a super cop. I used to be good. That's some solace, I guess. What's the last number? I don't think I could ever re-become this person. Oh, that hurts as someone who burnt out. What's the last number? I used to be good. That's some solace, I
Right.
guess.
Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely
Wow.
3 perforations there.
Confirmed kills. That sounds pretty evil. A drink would soften that feeling.
So I'm a killer.
That's right. A killer of humans.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock Quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident.
Huh. It's obvious the lieutenant doesn't think very highly of these officers.
But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
He's sincerely glad you're not a scary predator. Not to say relieved you're competent.
You ever killed anyone, Kim?
Yes,
He says, declining to elaborate. How do you handle the strain?
everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective, more self-destructive than others.
He gives you a meaningful look.
Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few
Aw.
hobbies.
Like what?
Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now.
Maybe I should find a hobby.
Anything's better than annihilating yourself with drugs and alcohol.
Maybe I should pour one out for the boys. The fun.
If you want to pour out the booze you've been carrying around on duty, I'm certainly not going to stop you.
I would pour it out the ground
Dark pool of
ceremoniously.
cheap wine appears at your feet. It shimmers in the lights of the Kanema. Honorably done. You have given up some of your own blood for theirs.
I'm sorry for killing you. The gloaming comes for all, but it came for you too. It came for you first. We'll make it okay with the power of rock and roll. Here's to you, honored dead. The glowing came for you all, but it came for you first.
Very noble of you. Are we done here?
Thanks for
The
this.
lieutenant nods.
Look at the shimmering street.
The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights.
Wait, look
A
around.
rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than the child's cry. In the middle of a broken plaza, in a cone of light, barely visible in the daytime, 2 men One slim, the other sturdy. They are on the city stage, but only one of them knows his lines.
That's an unbelievable line.
Ah, Martinez.
Where are we on this?
Let me see.
He takes the ledger for a moment to inspect it.
Right here.
He says his finger right near the top of the map on a segment of coast jutting out of the great ocean. Seems nice.
No, it does not.
Okay, let's look at the streaming.
The rectangular water.
Let me right here.
Seems like a
It has
shithole.
its problems. Right.
Let's go.
I'll go turn off the lights.
Okay. Okay, so we need to find 20 bucks for tomorrow. We need to figure out where my gun is. We need to go back to talk to the smoker. We need the boots off the guy. Gotta go talk to Joyce. Get a sad song. Find a way back behind the whirling. Keep looking for the collar. Ask around for the tattoos. Figure out what Joyce knows. Who put the clothes in the trash? Oh, ask Kuno. Okay. Find my badge. Inspect the body. Replace the lost bowl. Find out who the lady driver is. Find some booze. Find out where the rest of the armor is with another ask Kuno. Pissing match, which is after the initial inspection. Wednesday, which is the day after tomorrow. Run number on the armor, which is the shortwave. Gotta do that. Gotta look out for the, yeah, okay. And everything else, I don't think, yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think we have nothing to do there. Don't have any skill. Okay, let's call that in if we can.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out
Tap the fuel
toolbox.
preheater
As you
gauge.
tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector, indicating the engine is warm. Next to the gauge is a red switch labeled heat.
No, that's enough fun with the foldable headlights. I know they are mesmerizing. They are also fragile. I'm not going to turn it on for you again.
Pick up the radio.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Could you run a serial number from a pair of armored boots for
Sure,
me?
officer. What's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know it.
E50 100 1000. The make and model of the armor is Fairweather T500-VE.
Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something useful by then.
Wait, what's the ICP?
The International Collaboration Police?
Huh?
They keep detailed records of all military technology produced by licensed manufacturers. That's one of the reasons the Moral Intern spearheaded the creation of the ICP in the first place.
Have you heard back from them?
No, and I doubt they'll get back to me before tomorrow morning. Anything else?
Please connect me to Sylvie again.
Just a second, officer.
At like midnight.
Sylvie Malaika on the line. Yes. Hello?
Hello, Sylvie's police
Oh,
again.
great. What else do you need, detective?
Have you seen my badge?
Yes, I know who you are. You're a police officer. The law.
Wait, how did you learn that I was a police
You
officer?
told me back in the whirling. You told everybody. And so does your badge. I don't need to hear about it anymore.
My badge is missing. Have you seen it anywhere?
Oh, no. I haven't. Sorry.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours?
Not my uniform too. God, I should really look into that.
Yes, you absolutely should. It's awful that you lost it.
Have you seen my gun?
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun, detective.
She sounds beyond exasperated. I showed you my gun when that
I'm trying
happened.
to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating, and
She stops hesitantly, not sure if she should continue.
Sounds like it's going to be bad. Do you really want to know?
Actually, what? What did I do?
you were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes. It got pretty graphic.
People tried to back away from you, or even slip out of the door. But you screamed, I am the goddamned law, and you have to listen to me. You are all suspects in a murder investigation.
I should have killed myself. Why would I threaten to kill myself? I mean, look at this world. I would love to say. Okay, I don't know what to say. I should kill myself.
No, please, no more suicide threats. Thank God you don't have that stupid gun anymore.
There are way more inventive ways than a gun to leave this world.
Why would I mean, I'd love to
There
stay.
is silence on the other end of the line.
Okay, I don't know what to say.
Me neither.
Yes, but what happened to my gun?
No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like big bucks cannot lie and guns can't buy money, but money can always buy guns. It almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me, I did not ask.
Have you seen my policeman uniform?
Uniform? I never saw you in any uniform. You had your things on. The disco things.
Do you know how my paperwork ended up in the trash container?
Well, you tried to jam it down the toilet, sir. Clogged it completely. After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paperwork, I threw it out in the trash, thinking you didn't need it.
Oh.
I am sorry about that. Anything else, detective?
Want to get a cup of coffee with me sometime?
No, absolutely not.
I think I got
You hear
everything.
the cord breaking up on the
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
It's not the radio for now.
57, over and out.
in the cabin. You see a set.
Oh.
Jamais vu. Derealization. Jamais vu. The opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears
Oh.
strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is a fundamental question.
Oh. Oh. XP for orbs. That seems like insanely good. Okay, and then I have rigorous self-critique that I need to do. We need skill points for those. Okay, we got that. Any of these reset? No, okay. I think it is time for us to actually let Harry here sleep. Oh no, actually, fuck it. Let's talk to Kuno real quick. If he's still out here. Yeah. Holy shit, dude.
Fuck
Go to
does
bed.
Kuno care? The fuck about it?
Dude, where's the rest of his armor?
Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor.
How come?
Kuno's fucking's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant.
Mutant.
Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's too big for any man.
Points to the body.
Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away.
He drills his temples with his fingers in some strange, aggressive gesture.
Oh, come on. He's just pretending that he doesn't care. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
too small for the armor.
You're just too small for the armor.
Get the fuck out of here trying to fuck on me with that midget shit. Kuno's 12. He's huge.
He squints at you.
What are you? Fucking 80. When Kuno's 80, Kuno can fit 4 of you in Kuno. Fuck out of here.
Trying to fuck on Kuno. Fuck out of here.
What do you mean you threw it
Kuno
away?
tried to get the helmet on. It was too big.
He performs a kick off on the imaginary
Kuno
helmet.
kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno.
He threw it in the sea?
That shit means nothing to Kuno.
He
Kuno
repeats.
doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk. You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gates.
What do you mean troubadour?
Yeah, cock and boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about
What
cows
the
or some
fuck?
shit. Came around pretending like he cares about cows. So yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor.
Huh.
Go to the gate. Ask him yourself.
Yes, this troubadour has it. You can feel it.
There are contusions all over his body. Did you do that?
Fuck are you talking about? What is this contusion shit?
He grabs his head like it's suddenly hurting.
He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
A contusion is a bruise. I'm talking about the marks of your stones left on the corpse.
Oh, did Kuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing. This is Kuno's kingdom. Kuno fucking rules here.
He lets go of his head, suddenly feeling better.
You hear the lieutenant hum.
More on this later. We'll
You're
talk about something
testing-
else.
Get lost.
Okay.
Kuno doesn't.
Well, we have to go talk to the jolly dude about that. Okay, let's go. Let's go let the poor man get some sleep. Also, because I feel like I will not be doing a super long stream past this point, because I am very, very tired. Antibiotics suck, y'all. Other than the whole, like, revolutionizing medical care thing, they really are just a pain in the ass. Okay. See you in the morning. Wait, so I can continue without you now?
The window stands.
Bye. Oh, bottles. Yeah.
The bed is cold and not.
Not time to rest yet. Oh yeah, I forgot about the pneumonia. It's like I said when we were at the doctor's, that like I'm just so happy we got to get you seen. I'm forgetting that I just feel like fucking shit. There's that obvious bottle on the floor. Oh, there we go. Even though this amounts to like no money. Do I want to go fuck around alone? Let's go fuck around alone for a minute. Hold on, because now we can go talk to Joyce. We're not getting bothered. Oh, we can also sit on the bench. Wait, what does that say? Maybe a sea monster did this to the plaza?
You sit on the wind-worn wooden planks of the bench. Your feet.
Oh, get up. I don't need to waste time right now. It's cute that you can do that. Okay, getting to Joyce. It's this way. Yeah. Can't go in there. Wow, he's still out here. Holy shit. Joyce's Revachol TV tropes. Yes! She's what I read before I go to sleep. Yeah, I don't want to go in there yet, just because I feel like I should wait for Kim, but I might poke around. Hey, Joyce.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with at this late hour?
She takes a sip from her silvery thermal cup. It's night. Don't you ever sleep?
Matter of fact, I don't.
She takes another sip. Why is that?
I have a medical condition of my own. Nothing unusual, though. I'm old, you see.
No, you're not. You look young.
Thank you. I do what I can to remain presentable. Now, ask me some questions. It'll help us pass the night.
I got some more questions about
More
reality.
lessons in basic reality. My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me
She's
anything.
positively surprised. What times are these?
These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late.
She puts a finger to her lips and then points at you. Too late for what?
For the big time.
Her eyes light up. There's a flash of teeth.
The smile of a predator. No doubt what she's got in mind.
You've got a predatory streak.
All men are predators, dear.
Huh.
Nothing much to be done about that. It's all a matter of where you get to file your teeth.
What's the big time?
The revolution.
And what is this revolution I keep hearing about?
It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle.
Who got shot in the head?
Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot in the head. Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed.
Did the communists and the anarchists shoot back?
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
Truly a kerfuffle.
Yes, the Insulindian deluge. they
I had a
call it.
deluge too in my head. Anyone else get shot in the head on the opposing side?
Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse,
Huh.
or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew.
She shakes her head.
The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
Smart king, cowardly king. I loved that king. Fucking communist. Smart king.
Yes. King Guillaume had a nose for bad PR. He ran before it. What is the expression? Went down?
Yeah.
Anyway, Gil got out alive and his nephew Frisell got shot in his place. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time.
Who got the mineral
The
rights?
liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything.
She looks up at the sky and then inland at the crumbling city. Okay, and by liberals you mean
Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. Or the remaining gentry. The beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement. Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the ultras, or ultra-liberals. They fared well.
How did the liberals win it all?
They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember?
Jesus.
She's one of them. Of course.
If everyone got shot, who was there to surrender to?
To foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights.
Wait, you just said the liberals took everything.
The liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition
Huh.
took the ground. The ocean, the laws, and the people.
She stomps her rubber-booted foot. Who are the coalition?
The coalition of nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-la-Clay, the armed center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do.
Moralist?
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights and not shooting people in the head.
Huh.
At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government.
The rulers of Revachol, and also the world. These guys are strong.
This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
I don't think I'm a moralist, ma'am. Not just technically, practically as well. I like what I've heard of these people. If always picking the option that doesn't commit to anything, then hell yes I am, and also not. I don't think I'm a moralist, ma'am.
Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work.
She sizes you up. When was this kerfuffle?
Turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question.
She smiles
The
mischievously.
revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end, nearly the whole world had gotten involved.
Who started it?
It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Mazov came along and overthrew the government.
What did this Tarzoth do?
It made people overthrow their governments.
Wow, really?
Of course not. It was a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual
This is
causes of
awkward.
the revolution were material. Pandemic only provided the spark.
This was in 2019, FYI. Where did it spread from
From
there?
Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Mazov's government was overthrown in '08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end.
What came next?
Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control.
She spreads her arms, raincoat flapping in the wind.
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe it's because she has a boat and you have that necktie, a pair of pants.
Our lives are very different
No
from each
doubt.
other.
But we share the same time and position on the planet's crust. That counts for more than you think.
What is the zone of control?
A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the Coalition of Nations. And you, of course, the citizens' militia. The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune.
What happened to the rest of the world?
Modernity.
Huh.
We developed the marvels of the inter-eastlery communication. Telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade.
It's been like this for how long exactly?
43 years. Hard to fathom, I know.
What have we been doing in all that
The
time?
20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. 08 to 19 was simply hell.
And after that?
The 30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere.
Were they?
No,
Huh.
it was a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s dispelled it like a cold splash, an Isla-wide hangover, you might say. And here we are.
She curtsies.
Welcome to reality, baby.
What would you have done differently?
Good question. What would you have done differently?
I asked you, who are you in all
And
this?
I asked you, past less detective of the citizens' militia, what insight has acute encephalopathy given to you?
Here's some wisdom, lady. Say the death thing.
I would have sought a medical solution. Sounds like Tazara drove these people mad. I would have killed more, 400 million if that's what it took. I would have made off with the mineral rights. I don't know what I've done differently. Yeah, medical
A
solution.
cold
Jesus.
creeps up your spine, reaching its tendrils up your neck.
So a quarter of humanity simply lost their minds. And how would you stop a prion, a complex folding protein, unlife, with a technology 50 years ago?
With some hygiene, modest social care, and perhaps a little research program, that's way too real. Liquidate the rabid, prion-infested dogs who want to kill everyone with cleansing artillery fire. Or privatize healthcare and a work ethic that does not turn your brain into sponge tissue. Okay, maybe that's impossible. Yeah, hygiene.
The wind stops, and for a moment, there's silence. The charge dissipates into the dark water. All is quiet on the Martinez inlet.
There is peace in the heart.
Ah,
Good hygiene. Really. A very moderate solution to an extreme problem. It's those sort of half measures that doomed the authorities in Grad. When they failed to step up, Marzov and his party stepped in. In this particular case, maybe a more robust state response might have been appropriate.
that's enough about the times.
They are what they are. Who knows? An afterbloom may yet come. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
Not so fast. Who is she in all this? Ask her who she is. She owes you an answer.
What is this acute encephalopathy?
It's a neurological disorder caused by a lack of vitamin B in the brain. Symptoms include a retrograde amnesia. It's quite serious. You should get yourself checked out.
Causes it.
Well, it's either bariatric surgery or long-term alcohol use.
It's definitely the
She
drinking.
nods slowly. What this boils down to is this reality thing is stupid. Blow this joint, grab a bottle, and drain that shit right down.
Wipe that
your
urge from your
throat.
mind, get back
She
to
stares
reality.
at you, head tilted to the side, with a
Here,
slightly
bring a-
concerned look on her face.
Let's try it.
It remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about reality.
Huh. Okay, we'll get back to that later. I want to know what you are. What are you?
I am the vilest of the vile. A traitor, a devourer of nations and infants.
She says with a sudden flash of teeth.
I am an ultra.
She raises the corner of her mouth, smirking, revealing a canine. It's sharp.
Wait, what's an ultra?
An ultra-liberal. It's a type of liberal from the revolution. It's, not the moderate kind.
Dios mio, draw across a liberal. Cool, I liberate myself pretty hard. I liberate pretty hard myself. A liberal.
Yes. I am the nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp. I pushed the king under a shit wagon and betrayed the revolution. My kind surrendered the nation to financial colonists. I can see you thought we'd gone extinct. After all, no sane person identifies as an ultra-liberal anymore. Not in broad daylight. You're a centrist at heart. A real moralist, no? Tell me, now that I've uncoiled myself, do you find me frightening?
In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt and pride.
You're a monster, I forgive you. I forgive you, but only because you're charming.
A devil, who being of great charm and guile, sneaketh into the homes of the godly.
Beneath her waterproof raincoat and silk shirt is a body imbibed in numb 12 perfume. You are suddenly and intimately aware of it.
Wanna fuck? Vile dilute, shake your head slowly.
I hope so. I hope we are able to continue as friends despite my scaly bulk. And the insanity, bloodshed, and transfer of wealth that took place here. It was not the plan all along. When the dust settled, the liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. This was all our last generation managed.
She turns her gaze to the Delta. Would you have done something differently?
With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government that keeps Martinaise a monument to the efficacy of its artillery.
While a gentle wind sweeps the streets in the rebuilt east, light drizzle washing it clean, lights go up and motor carriages circulate the tracks.
I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the coalition. Not here in Martinaise, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either. If not for my own sake.
She realizes her small, cold fists are clenched.
Then for my daughters. We had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isola down rather than let them have it.
Dark orange flames reflect in her green eyes. An oil fire on the ocean.
You're a smart woman.
Perhaps. My intellectual vanity will be my undoing.
Her earrings chime as she nods. You're a patriot?
I suppose I am. But I wouldn't be a patriot anywhere but here.
And you have daughters?
Yes. Whatever else I am, I'm also a mother and a wife.
Oh.
Now, shall we return to reality?
What is
Nice.
all of this? The scent, the sound, the air.
What world is this?
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode.
The fading pearls of her eyes look
The
to the
camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
What do you see?
Great bodies of water. Forest-covered surfaces. Clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough.
She concludes.
Frizon lifts the hair on the back of your arm. Wind sweeps the surface of the bay.
The wind is sweeping the waters.
The world is a suzerainty
Huh.
of Revachol.
There is a term of endearment they coined for it in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included.
When is it?
Elysium.
Ha! Elysium, the world needs a term of endearment.
It does. There are those who would call it hell.
What is
A
hell?
term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists.
I don't feel like I've gotten the whole picture yet.
You want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit.
She raises her finger to her lips.
Great things are difficult to
How come?
achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
Inside sideways. What shape is this world then?
We used to think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids. But the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
ORG, Occident Revachol Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors, they're piecing together a dark grey corona. Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
A cold fear seeps into you.
Oh my god, wait, what the hell are you
You
telling
seem
me?
to be spooked. Please don't be.
Her voice becomes homely. She lets a moment pass. The pale, what do you mean the corona?
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness. I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here.
She looks around.
But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound.
A fractured corona doesn't sound like it's going to bring anyone together.
You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane.
Very disco. 1 second.
You'd love it.
Excuse me. Walking in? Oh, baby, baby, baby.
He got a piece of popcorn. He's so happy. No, baby! No, baby wants for popcorn! Okay, buddy. Here you go. Come on, eat your popcorn. And get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Come on. Come on. Get the fuck out, everybody. Shoot. Baby! Well, if you say it's disco.
See, everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities.
The cold seeps into you. The air is heavy with 80% humidity. Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides.
What is pale?
The pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality. It is the opposite of reality.
Okay, but what is it? A definition.
Okay. The pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the inter-islary mass.
Wait, and what is an isla?
Isla is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7.
Shit.
Windy, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde,
And what is Insulinde?
an oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear.
Well, now you can also understand where the pale driver is getting her name from. And that she's talking about that she might not, it doesn't matter whose the memories are, because the idea of driving through the pale is you can encounter anyone's memories. Okay, what is the pale like?
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
Is it here? Look
No,
around.
detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isla.
As your gaze instinctively turns north, a small black pit opens up in your stomach.
6,000 kilometers from the end of the world.
Yes. That is enough. Many cities are built much closer.
And there?
An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the pale is called porch collapse. Imagine a grey coronal mist, cold vapor marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism, a mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
She closes her eyes and breathes out heavily.
You hear your pulse rise. The air feels caustic and cold suddenly.
What are its physical qualities?
It's difficult to describe or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic. The further into pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension. Right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible.
If we're surrounded by pale, how do you get from Isola to Isola?
Oh, it is so difficult for us.
Her lungs deflate, her words sound like a sigh.
It is possible to force dimensions on the pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the pale without getting lost or having our minds damaged.
The pale can damage the mind?
Extensively.
How?
Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter. They call it the blend over of the self. The pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated.
God, this setting has
past.
such incredible ideas. What does this over-radiation feel like?
Feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of pale exposure per year.
It's more for her. Way more.
You're not a civilian passenger?
No, nameless detective of the citizens' militia. I am a member of the Entreprenetic Business Class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of pale transit annually.
Someone else you've met may have been exposed as well.
Oh, yeah.
The strange grey-haired woman in her lorry.
Do lorry drivers pass the pale?
Yes, carried in the hulls of airships. It's a horrific job. Automation will abolish it soon.
She nods.
You should ask the pal driver about this.
Yeah?
See what
yeah.
she said. That poor woman must have stories to tell, like you wouldn't imagine.
Are you over-irradiated?
Up to my gills, officer.
What is entropinetic?
Entreprenetics is the scientific study of the pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of grad. The study of the pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
Did they cross it, the Western Plain?
There are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
What has entreprenetics changed then?
Nothing. We remain powerless before the pale. The only real advance in pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later.
Aerostatic craft?
Hybrid airships, detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near pale to far pale. In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely.
And if we do not?
Then they don't.
How much pale is there compared to the world?
The pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more pale than there is matter. And the ratio is slipping.
Slipping how? To our detriment, or?
What do you think, detective?
She looks you in the eye. It's shrinking. There's more and more. It's growing. There's more and more of the Pale.
Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the Pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the Pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists.
Not extreme at all. It's going to happen.
Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore
Don't look
or
up.
downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same.
Off we go. You see the hanged man's mouth open.
Off we go into the wild Pale yonder.
One and all. They say Pale is death, but for the universe.
She closes her eyes.
Why should we just leave, and the world get left behind?
Well, let's return to reality, please.
Yes, sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective,
She stomps her foot.
is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
Nothing, just alcohol fumes and blackouts. Sometimes I sometimes sense vague shadows of a past that's not good. I'm getting a sense of, yeah, I like that.
Then tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
You're right, it's disco. It will end all life. That we continue to persist at all is a testament to our faith in one another. Its advance can only be stopped with immediate, total, ruthless communism. A powerful anti-communist force, perhaps too powerful, but still, they have it coming. I'm worried I will have to say it doesn't sound very liberal to me. I don't know how you've all survived with it. It's a huge accomplishment. Who might think of anything of it? You're right, it's disco.
Mm-hmm.
Her eyes tense, crow's feet radiate from she observes you, your bloodshot eyes and swollen face.
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
She stops mid-sentence. I'll handle it. It's under control. This investigation will be my masterpiece. It's the one they'll remember me by, I promise. Yes, it'll be a fucking disaster. I got it. It's under control.
So. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him, and he is very competent. In the meanwhile, you have me. I will assist you in any way I can.
Oh, talk to the Joyce about the Pale without
do it
Kim.
one basic term at a time.
What is this? Spread your hands.
Bird? A sphenicid? A flightless bird of the polar regions?
Keep guessing.
Some sort of krill hunter? No, wait. You're an ancient ruin. A symbol of hubris and decay. Half submerged in some salty sea.
Are you saying I'm ruined?
Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing games.
I just meant, what is this place here?
This is the pier of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A, where the tenants have been kind enough to rent me a slot.
She spreads her arms almost as wide.
Two.
She looks around. What is this Rue de Saint-Ghislain?
A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings, bâtiments. After les bâtiments nouveaux. But 33A and 33B are not nouveaux. They're old.
She looks at the crumbling facade.
This one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall. A real high-rise by the standards of the last century. Built to mirror the skyscrapers across the bay in the Delta. That was before the war, of course.
Who lived in them?
Mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate, before the cannons lopped 4 or 5 stories off.
Splat, splat.
From a dilapidated balcony, Cindy the Skull gives Joyce the evil eye, her red paintbrush held to her throat.
Wonderful.
Who is that? Point to Cindy the
girl
Skull.
in the old lady rags.
Yes.
Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a teen infraculture.
Infraculture?
Yes. You and I belong to the supraculture.
What?
We're common, the herd. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant, those are all too popular for the girl in the old lady rags. She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion, I'm afraid. There is no refuge from the supraculture.
Okay, I understand everything. Somehow make it more complicated.
I can't. That's how simple it is. One may dye their hair green and wear their grandma's coat all they want. Cattle has the ability to subsume all critiques into itself. Even those who
Ugh.
would critique capital end up reinforcing it instead. All right. What next?
She pauses to take a long, leisurely sip of tea.
Suddenly, you're not so sure you're part of the superculture.
I think I may be part of the infraculture.
And what would that be?
Disco.
I can see that, yes. I dabbled in
Dark
those dark
arts.
arts myself, not so long ago. I assure you, it was a thoroughly supracultural phenomenon. All permeating. Downright mandatory. Nothing infra about disco, baby.
Your disco?
Those days
Oh my
are long
god,
behind me.
toast.
And even in the early 30s, I would say I was more of a new girl. Disco was a minor, but still enjoyable facet of the whole thing for me.
The
The
new?
new, a cultural era, and the name of the decade it ravished, the 30s. It came out of post-revolutionary Revachol. It was ultra-liberal. It involved lots of partying, as you might imagine, and champagne-colored everything. By the looks of it, that would have been when you came of age. Now,
She raises an eyebrow at you. Champagne? That doesn't sound like anything I'd be into. I'm straight edge. Got it. Let's take... Sounds fun. I can't remember a single thing.
wasn't it Guillaume Le Million who said, if you can remember the new, you weren't there?
That's all for now.
Glad to have been of assistance.
That's all.